Leanne Eager, followed by Diana Lacombe, and then Paul Guerrero.
Good morning, Chairman. I was going to welcome Mr. Frank, but
We'll tell them you did.
I'm a UC Davis Law School alumni, so I was going to tell him.
We'll make sure he knows that.
They taught me well at UC Davis. One of the things they taught me at law school was to question everything and to do my own analysis. And if you don't believe that, you could just ask my husband. I question everything. I don't believe what people tell me until I really read it. And 4 years ago next week, I started going to high-speed rail meetings. When in Fresno, I started at the EDC, and they said, we need you to start looking into this high-speed rail thing. We're not quite sure it's actually going to happen. And so I started going. And as some of you know, and I think I've gone to lots of meetings with many of you, is that I think since that time I've gone to about 10,000 high-speed rail meetings and read everything I can get my hands on to make sure that I understand and I make those decisions for myself. And one of the things that I have found over these last 4 years is that it's not an option anymore on whether we support high-speed rail. We have to have high-speed rail in California. To get people from Northern California to Southern California, there's no other way to do that. We can't put freeways in California any longer. And for those of you who say we need to bypass the Central Valley and go down I-5, I think I'm offended by that. To bypass Central California, as has happened so many times in the past, that we get left out. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional here. We get left out of so many things. And I'm a fourth generation Fresnan. My mother grew up in Corcoran in Kings County. My father grew up in Fresno. I went to UC Davis and I lived in the Bay Area for a little while, and I always came back to the Central Valley of California because I know what we have to offer there. I know we feed the world. I know that we're an agriculture community, but we have so much to offer every place in the state of California. And so when we started looking at where should the high-speed rail go, I was one of those who fought really hard to make sure that it came through the Central Valley of California because we need to be connected, not just for the jobs. Of course we have to have those jobs. We have high unemployment, we have high poverty, and we've been fighting for 50 years, well, I have, to find some way out of that poverty, and nothing has worked. Nothing has changed what's happening in the Central Valley. We have 35% unemployment in some of our rural communities in Fresno County, and I know in many of those other areas in Central Valley. And nothing has helped us get out of that poverty. Nothing has helped us put people to work. But besides just those jobs that are going to be for high-speed rail, we need to be connected to the rest of the state. We are an island in ourselves. Trying to get to Los Angeles and San Francisco and San Diego and Sacramento on 99 is absolutely ridiculous. Trying to get from Fresno to any place else in the state by airline is, it's cost prohibitive. We can't do it. We have to get to those places. And I have, as many of you know, 7 grandchildren, and I have one more coming in January. And I want to leave California to them in a way that I dreamed it would be. Sorry. The air quality in the Central Valley of California, my kids can't breathe there. My grandchildren can't breathe there. And I keep talking to them about, please come back to Fresno. Please come back to the Central Valley. And they say, we have to have things changed. We have to make sure that we can have jobs, that we can be connected to the rest of the state, and that we can have a good livelihood for our kids and our grandkids there. The high-speed rail is one of those things, and it's not the end-all, don't get me wrong. I don't think this is the thing that's going to save us all, but it is one of those things that will allow the Central Valley to grow and prosper. I go around the country and around the world, and I sing the praises of the Central Valley of California. I'm the chair of the California Central Valley Economic Development Corporation, so we go as a group together. And I talk about what we have to offer here. And around the state and around the country, people now know who we are. People now are saying, oh, I know the Central Valley of California. That's where high-speed rail is starting, right? The people in Paris, the people in Spain say, this is your opportunity now. This is the one time in my lifetime that the whole world is looking at what we're doing. And I need, and we all need in the Central Valley, something to hold on to change this. And right now is the opportunity of a lifetime. And I know you all have hard work to do to make this right. And in Fresno County, we're helping you do that and working with all of those folks along the alignment to make sure that they are treated fairly and that they do have a right to have an advocate on their side to make sure that their businesses are given the proper appraisals that they need. We're doing all of that work. And instead of fighting back and forth on whether or not this should happen, let's all fight together and make sure that it happens right. Thank you.